Hey everyone, Jason here, and I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about something that we here at FwdCompatible think is really cool. Saturday, July 13th at noon at the Orlando Fashion Square Mall, you can go out and play Injustice Gods Among Us for a chance to win a PlayStation 4. It's only $10 to enter, and 100% of the proceeds go to New Hope for Kids. Orlando Fashion Square Mall is located at 3201 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. You can check them out at orlandofashionsquare.com for more details. So pre-register, win some cool prizes, and help support an awesome charity. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 73, part 2, for June 30th, 2013. My name's Tony and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Jason and Brian. I got tired of doing that same fucking bullshit. Yeah! Mark's not here. If you caught part 1, you know this. He is away for the week for some 4th of July, the 4th of July.
Of the 4th.
Of the 4th. Independence Day celebration. So he's in another state. I think he's in Wisconsin.
I don't know who the fuck he is.
I don't know either.
Because we don't care if he ain't here.
Yeah, fuck you, Mark.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, he'll. I think he's missing 2 weeks, though, isn't he? Because he left, yesterday, and he'll be back.
I don't know if he's going to make it back in time for
He's coming
Sundays.
back next week when we record, but I doubt he's going to want to, rush home, shower, and come here to record. So he might miss next week as well. But
that's okay because we have a very special guest.
We do.
Returning guest.
Yes.
Next week?
Yes.
Who is?
If you, we're not spoiling it. You have to tune in to catch it. If you have not yet done so, please do click out, check out episode 1 where we do answer reader questions as well as cover the news of the week.
Kind of fucked that up a little bit.
No, I'm just switching it
We
up.
We did Competent News, Gmail, and the Impoverished Geek Question of the Week,
And the Fireside Chat.
Yep.
But this, of course, is part 2 where we cover Tony's Topic of the Week. I didn't feel like going too nuts with it this week.
Kind of a letdown.
No, just some OG stuff, you know?
No, let me know.
This week, after taking a break from, which we really didn't, because last week we had to cover Microsoft again, but I did promise you guys this one 2 weeks ago in 2 weeks' time, which is today. We are going to do Talk Me Into Buying the PS4, Talk Me Out of Buying the PS4, Talk Me Into Buying the Xbox One, and of course, Talk Me Out of Buying the Xbox One. Where do you gentlemen want to start? I have 0 bullet points. There's no fluidity with this. This is just, we're just going to see how it goes.
Do you want to start easiest and then go to the hardest? So talk me into the PS4, talk me into the Xbox, then talk me.
Do you want to
out of the
switch
PS4.
them up, or do you want to concentrate on Microsoft and Sony, or vice versa? Do yes and no, or what do you guys want to do? What are you guys feeling?
Gas.
Heartburn?
No.
I guess going platform by platform would be more interesting. There's the email I was waiting for.
Yay! Not relevant to part 2 of the show.
Okay, so let's take a quick vote. Jason, do you want to start with Sony or Microsoft?
Sony.
Jason or Brian, do you want to start with Sony or Microsoft?
That's cool. I have no.
Then my vote matters not, good sirs. So we'll
Like
start,
it ever.
We'll start with. So I was hoping to be the tiebreaker. So. What?
By the way, before we get too far, because I do listen to the show.
As do I. I quality check us.
You're wanting the point for Microsoft reversing their online
I
policies.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, nobody chimed in online, but whatever.
Bastards.
You see, when we did our point system, it was for the E3 conferences that they presented. Okay,
Yeah.
not 11 days later. which is when the announcement was.
I think you're jealous
11
because I took
days
second place
later,
and you are in a dreadful by a mile.
Well, then
third place.
If we're gonna be so technical, then my prediction of Sony matching Microsoft's online policy and procedures come true.
I'm just saying
because they both have the same. So then I get a point, and I'm back in second.
I'm
place.
just saying that. The
world,
world,
technically,
the world has not seen this bad of an ass beating.
Please,
since France in WW2.
You're just grasping at straws.
No, I'm just basking in the glory of taking a smooth second place.
Yeah,
my awesomeness has persevered, and I will continue to be this excellent in all ways, shapes, and forms.
You know what the best part about all this is I'm pretty sure I've gotten pretty good with my editing. As I can edit this to have Tony say how awesome I am.
These are all lies and falsities. Tony's awesome, and he smells good.
See, Tony smells awful. Is what it's going to say.
I'll be damned if he isn't one strikingly handsome son of a bitch.
So you lose.
Well, yeah, to Mark because I got second place.
No.
Anyways,
third place.
Topic of the week.
I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
11 days after the conference.
He's just jealous.
11 days.
He's just jealous of my smooth
that
prediction skills.
That is not E3.
Smooth prediction skills.
I'm Switzerland.
11 days after the conference is not E3.
Jealous.
No.
PlayStation.
Bullshit.
Are we doing talk me into or talk me out of?
Talk you into. Start with the talk you into.
You want it.
Talk me into.
It's got Naughty Dog.
Done.
Everybody sold on PS4. No, anybody want to kick us off?
I don't know. You guys are the Sony fans here, so I think you guys need to try to talk me into a PlayStation 4.
No, that's not how we're doing this.
I know, but I'm saying I don't really have...
Right now...
To start, I don't have anything to start with.
That's fine if you need to piggyback, but right now, the way I want this set up is, for talk me into a PS4, everybody's a Sony fanboy.
I'm just saying.
And talk me out of it, everybody's the harshest critic we can be.
I'm not the guy... for Microsoft. I get you. I'm just saying, I'm not the guy to lead.
No sugarcoating, no pulling punches, no nothing.
I'm not the guy to lead.
Okay, I will kick us off with Sony. I am the Sony aficionado. Mm-hmm. The PS4 looks killer. From what we know, it is the slightly more powerful system. The games look amazing. They haven't messed with too much. PlayStation Plus is still one of the greatest deals in video game history. And the best part is, out of all the games that they've showed, and keep in mind they're launching 30 new exclusives in the first year or two, they said? Because they were making fun of Microsoft.
I'm trying to think of the clarification for what they said.
Whatever. It was something along the lines of they have 30 new exclusives coming out, and 12 or 18, I forgot which is which, are completely new IPs. And the best part is, Sony hasn't even shown their good IPs yet. The stuff that they've shown has either already been shown or is just kind of it's another cool exclusive, but they haven't even busted out the big guns yet. There's no Gran Turismo yet. There's no God of War. There's no Uncharted. There's no fucking Ratchet and Clank. No Sly Cooper. All the biggest guns in Sony's arsenal have yet to be showcased on the PS4, and that is exciting. I think that's a great initial statement to opening up the PS4 mindshare.
Brian? He's writing shit down.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking stuff up and typing it down. Yeah, I'm preparing myself. So we got covered the fact that it's the most powerful hardware by a slim margin, not by much, but a slim margin, possibly noticeable, possibly not. PlayStation Plus is still the best value in subscriptions.
Yes.
For now, we'll see how Xbox goes. They are going to try to compete on that level.
They have to.
But
they force Microsoft hand.
But so far, PlayStation Plus is a better deal. Gaikai may allow backward compatibility. That would be really nice.
I forgot all about fucking Gaikai.
Well, see, it's not a guarantee yet, so it's a hope, not a guarantee. Naughty Dog is still a strong exclusive, although we don't know what they're doing yet, but we know they're going to do something.
Uncharted 4.
It's $100 cheaper.
Okay,
which is
if we're pretending to be the Sony fanboys, yes, it's $100 cheaper.
And there's no camera requirement.
which is another excellent fucking point.
Yes. You are not paying to be part of Microsoft's push to put out more voice and video and visual recognition software. Those are my big ones. I mean, obviously we can go into exclusives. Knack looks interesting as a platformer. I saw some play of that, and it looks pretty cool. It's kind of like, it's a little bit of a Mario-style game mixed with, I don't even know, Snake, almost. I don't even know that game, Snake, because Knack is about building up your character in terms of picking up all the
stuff around you. It's almost like Katamari.
Yeah.
Gotta roll like Katamari. Hi.
Sorry. Caesar's favorite game. That's a Lynn side there, but so yeah, it's got a really cool controller. They did some good upgrades on the controller. It's not I don't want to say it's the best controller, but it's a better controller.
The thing is that it's another great point on Sony's behalf. They listened. Mm-hmm. People are loving PlayStation Plus, and I don't want to pretend I was there from day one with PlayStation Plus because I wasn't.
He likes to pretend.
Neither was I.
I wasn't an early doubter. I just wanted to see what it was all about, and honestly, I had a feeling it was going to fail in the beginning. That not enough people were going to subscribe, and I'm like, why subscribe to something that they're going to pull back on in 6 months, like PlayStation Home or like the 6-axis inside the controller or something, or the PlayStation Move, something that they tried that wasn't going to have the lasting appeal. So I waited a bit. And it turned out to be amazing, and I did pick it up. I have been a subscriber for 2 of the 3 years, and it's awesome. The indie titles keep coming and coming and coming, which is great.
You're just fucking me over for everything positive that I could say.
You can read.
He said Gaikai. I was gonna say Gaikai. I was gonna say indie.
You can reiterate. You can say what I said again.
I got one.
People bitched a lot about the controller. What do? They went and revamped it. People bitched about cross-game chat, and what do? They included it. It's like all the biggest complaints that were coming toward Sony's department, they listened to you guys. They saw the outcry that was coming from the Microsoft camp, at least initially, with the used games and DRM. And that
would have been much bigger if Microsoft had not backtracked on that.
They had not included all those things. That's why I'm glad we waited 2 weeks to do this, by the way. So Sony listened. And is there going to be problems with this? Of course there is. There's problems with every piece of hardware in the world. But the fact of the matter is they're trying to clear up as much of the stuff that people had major problems with as possible. And the stuff that people love, they're building on, like PlayStation Plus, and people know that Sony has a rabid fan base with their exclusives. People love this stuff. So what do? They're splitting up a lot of these fully owned studios into 2 and 3 teams that are developing games simultaneously. You take Naughty Dog, for example, and they got split up into 2 teams. One's the Uncharted team, presumably the Uncharted team. They were the guys who worked on Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and after Uncharted 2, they got split up. So half the team started making Uncharted 3, and half the team started making Last of Us. So now we got to see what the Uncharted 3 team is doing, presumably next year. A lot of companies are starting to do this. Within, you got the Insomniac company breaking up. You had one team making Fuse, and obviously the other one's making Sunset Overdrive.
Sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to see what the Fuse team is making, which will probably be the first PlayStation 4 game that they're offering. And so on and so forth. I can go on and on and on with like Guerrilla and Cambridge and all these teams that some of these guys we don't even know what they're doing, like Sony Bend. We have no idea what the fuck they're making. Uncharted, after they finish Uncharted Golden Abyss, are they riding on the coattails of somebody else to bring us a great first party game on the Vita like they did with Golden Abyss, or are they coming back to the major home console? Are they making a PS4 game? We don't even know. That's awesome to me. And then they're locking in all the indie support. I just think PlayStation's making so many great moves.
And it's not entirely true that the system is not backwards compatible. If you read into it a little bit more, I know as stupid as it sounds, but their MMOs are going to be ported over to PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. So DCU will be playable, free to play on PlayStation 4. Dust Realms,
Dust
Dust
514.
Yeah, and I think there's one other one that I'm not thinking of. And then on top
EverQuest? Is it EverQuest?
No, that's not on the actual.
It's something from Sony Online Entertainment.
Sony did EverQuest, yeah.
Shit, there was what is it? Drive Club is going to be free to play to PlayStation Plus members.
Limited version.
Yeah, but that's still huge. You know
that they're giving away a launch title because PlayStation Plus in the past gives 6 or 8 month old games that have already had their initial sales boost. They're giving a brand new game on a brand new platform that didn't even have its chance to make $60 a unit yet.
Yeah,
they're just giving it to you. Sure, it's a stripped down version, but that's pretty cool.
You know, and then opening the floodgates for the indie developers. They've always had some very strong indie titles, but they haven't had the amount that Microsoft has had in the past. And I think that's starting to change. You're starting to see
Sony has way more.
Well, I'm talking in terms of.
It depends what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about the $20 games,
I'm talking about
Xbox
Unfinished Swan and Flower, Flow. Those they've had a dozen great, phenomenal indie games, but they haven't had the fluctuation, or they haven't had the mass that Microsoft had at that point.
They actually do. They have way more than Microsoft. The problem is 99.9% of them go undiscovered, unmentioned, unadvertised, everything.
0.1% of them are absolute shit.
See, Microsoft only makes 10 a year, but they advertise the ever-living balls out of them, so you know every single indie title that's coming to Microsoft.
Either way.
You got stuff like what we were playing at Brian's, Tokyo Jungle, that you never even heard of before. There's hundreds more games like that on the PlayStation Store. And nobody even has an idea that they exist.
Well, that's part of the thing is that now they're putting indie in the forefront.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great point. Yes.
That's all I got.
The first game, or the game I want to play most on the PS4, is Transistor, which is the next game from Supergiant, the guys who made Bastion. That's gonna be awesome.
It looks like more Bastion. They didn't even really change.
Well, no, it's got a turn-based element to it where you can plot out like moves and stuff like that in advance. So it's got a similar look to Bastion. The playstyle is going to be a little bit different.
I'm curious what Killzone's going to be like. I think that's the game I'm most excited about. Even though I'm not, I am a shooter fan, but it's not like I'm not a bro gamer. You guys hear the list of shits I play, but I do enjoy a good shooter.
He's a bro gamer.
And bro. But I'm looking really, really forward to that. Another big thing that I totally can't believe I missed out on. I'm looking extremely forward to all the crossplay with the Vita and the amount of games that are coming toward the Vita now. It's the same thing. They heard you that people were like, we need more and more games, and there's a ton of Vita games in development. I think they said another 100 or so over the course of the next 12 months or so are coming to the Vita. Sure, some of them are ports, some of them have been available on PC, some are just going to be cross-play versions of PS3 and PS4 games, but you're getting 100 more titles coming to the Vita.
You know what they should have done that they didn't do, and it's too late now? Vita games via the PS4 on your TV.
Wait, what?
So you have your Vita, say you're at home, you want to play your Vita, you can play it on your TV.
You already can.
Video out on the Vita to the TV?
It does it wirelessly through your PS3. I'm assuming the PS4 will do it if the PS3
does the PS4 do that? Or the PS3 do that? You can play. Yeah. So if you're playing Guacamelee on your Vita, you can wirelessly to your
Well, there'd be no point with Guacamelee because Guacamelee is cross-play.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Huh? Well, never mind.
All right. I think the PSP even did that.
Well, the PSP, you could do.
You had to buy an AV cable.
Okay, but the PSP was 9 years older.
I'm saying you
still had Vita. The Vita does it.
The Vita does it through the system.
You have to go to Content Manager on your Vita, and you wait. Maybe you do have to be plugged in. I never use it. It does do it.
I didn't know it did it. I knew that it did remote play for the PS3 to the Vita. But you can go from the Vita to the PS3, huh?
You have to go to Content Manager, and then you have to. I don't fucking remember. I'll double.
I'm gonna look right now. Let's just go ahead and keep the conversation going. Give me a few moments.
Something about hand jobs.
So you want to switch over to the talk you out of it, or?
Well, I don't know if Jason had it before you looked that up. Did you have anything else you wanted to include in the talk you into buying a PS4?
It looks like a sexy eraser.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Can. What's that say?
Well, he's looking at.
Sorry, I'm really interested in this. I don't even
Yeah.
want to move the show on yet because I'm not focused. I want to see
Yeah.
what the fuck happens.
All right.
Yes, no?
Hold on.
Somebody hand jobs. Fill some air. Fill some air. Play Vita. Games
Vita
on
games,
PS3.
On TV.
YouTube videos and whatnot on it.
Yeah, there are some YouTube videos on it.
Pretty sure it works, guys.
I mean, when's the date of this? Because this is 16/12. This is, it does not. So as of a year ago, it does not. Oh.
Hey, someone's phone is vibrating on the table.
It's because you sent me shit.
Jason's fault.
That's not like a year ago.
All right, yeah, a year ago. That was the last fucking thing that I saw. Was
You can't hook it up to the TV. You have to hook it up to your PS3.
Yeah.
I think you guys are Googling the wrong shits.
It says on the Amazon, can I hook my Vita up to my TV? No, you cannot.
That's
all.
You
I'm
can't
on,
hook it up to your TV.
I'm on
Right.
Wikipedia, and it supports out to the handheld, but not. the
Yeah,
other
that's what
way
I thought
around.
it was too. Out to the handheld, but not
Yeah.
remote play.
Wait, hold on. There we go. As long as the player stays within the transmission distance, plays the home console game on the handheld console. It's similar to the Wii U's off TV play. Yeah, so it does not show it. All right, so you're gonna have to try it out, Tony,
No, I'll double check.
to clarify. Moving on. What are we doing now?
We're going to start talking me out of the PS4. So now we are the Microsoft fanboy, basically Jason. And we're going to start bashing.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you, buddy. Don't call me buddy, pal. Don't call me pal, friend.
Listen here, Chief.
Let's turn into Microsoft fanboys and start bashing the PS4, shall we?
How about the fact?
Oh, notice he wants to start this one off, though.
How about the fact that in order to get the price down to $399, they had to drop their camera support? You can still buy it as a standalone, but that means it is not required. So that big flashy blue fucking light on the controller is absolutely useless now. Because nobody's going to go out and buy that fucking camera.
I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a positive. Would you buy the Kinect if Xbox didn't force you on it?
I
Of
did.
course not.
I did.
Well, you're a
Twice.
silly bastard.
Twice.
I wish Xbox would drop their price to $400 and not make me use the Kinect. That's a positive.
But the fact of the matter is in order to undercut Microsoft,
They still would've been
had
cheaper.
They had
40
to drop.
I don't think they were going to include it no matter what, because it's not the PlayStation Eye does not match up with the Kinect in terms of some of the extra features. Like, yes, if it's as a camera, they're probably equivalent. As a microphone, they're probably equivalent.
Then why go to the effort
But-
of building it into the controller like
if somebody
they did?
wants it.
But here's the thing.
So you don't have to buy move peripherals. You just have to buy
yeah,
the camera.
You just have the controller.
You don't need a fucking wand here, a wand here,
Yeah.
and a camera. You get the camera and you're
Everything
done.
that I read, I call bullshit. It was supposed to be included.
Of course
in
it was.
in order to get the price down, they dropped the feature, which effectively kills that feature.
I agree that it does effectively kill the feature. And the whole reason that Microsoft is really pushing it is because they want to push that technology in general. They've made a huge investment in it, and so if they
If
force
Sony,
it in
if
there,
Sony, if, so,
it
if
gets
Sony
a
wasn't
larger
looking to
market.
push that technology, also, they wouldn't have built it into their stock controller.
Well, but
And
it's
they
also
wouldn't
just
have
used
originally had the intention to
It's
include
also just
it.
used to indicate who is what player.
Bullshit.
Well,
Bullshit.
It is.
Four red LED lights couldn't do the same thing?
Yes, they could.
Okay.
It's just
If-
multifunction. You're right that it's more about that than showing the player, but it does still serve a function, is all I'm saying.
Bullshit.
But the thing is that...
Bullshit.
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
No, I know. I got you.
I have reasonable arguments. Go ahead if you want to.
No, I think that's a pro. I don't have a bad thing about it.
I think it's both. I think that
But it wasn't to undercut Microsoft. It was to embarrass their price. Their camera only costs $60.
Yeah, it is
Either way, they're going to be $40 cheaper than
No,
Xbox.
no.
This is to cause a huge discrepancy
No.
between the two consoles.
See. I understand that the standalone camera is $60. Now, that's what they've announced at. But before they knew what Microsoft was coming out at, that sumbitch was $100. That's how.
Maybe the thing is the Kinect camera does have more features than the PlayStation.
I get
because
that
it has the infrared camera, so it does have additional functionality. And there's a lot more work that Microsoft is doing on the Kinect than Sony is putting into the PlayStation Eye, or whatever they're going to call it.
I'm just saying, it's like to go to the effort of designing the controller in such a way to support that, and then cut one of your potential features in order to undercut Microsoft isn't, in my opinion. I see the point of it being a positive also, because it did benefit them in the end, but it is also scaling back a feature.
You don't have to buy it.
It's scaling back a feature also.
At the end of the day, I think the Kinect is going to be more used for voice recognition than for
that's all I ever
for gameplay.
The only thing I've ever played with my Kinect One was Kinect Sports,
because that was fun. Into the headset.
No, Kinect Sports.
No,
I was going to say
because
bowling on Kinect Sports was actually fun.
Was it?
Yeah, that was actually fucking fun.
No, I just mean that if it was just used for voice recognition, they could have just put a better headset in the box and say
you
themselves
don't need a headset.
$80.
You just need a fucking speaker built into the box.
All right. Anyway, we're on bashing Sony, so why don't we continue here bashing Sony?
Here we go. Indies could crowd the store. Sony has pushed Indies so hard, Indies could screw them over. The PlayStation Store is already a mess. So adding more to it without working on cleaning it up, which they have not shown anything of yet, could make it kind of messy.
It still looks better than what it did a year ago, but still.
I disagree.
No, it looks cool, but it's so non-functional now. It's
gotten worse.
It's so bad. I sit and wait for minutes for that to load, and sometimes it fails. It takes time to go between pages when it should not.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I have a good internet connection. Yeah. It has been so bad for me; it's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, their shit's slow as it is.
Well, it is,
I mean,
and that's one of my other points is that.
But I mean, at least for me, for like searching for content on there, it hasn't been a problem.
If you do a search, yeah, but like paging through stuff, like every Tuesday, I go in to look at what's been added to PlayStation Plus, and it is an ordeal to get in there. I feel it's slow, it's janky, it takes a long time to load.
The store's awful.
It is. It looks really nice. Like if you're just looking at screenshots, or if you were watching like a perfect presentation of it where there wasn't the slow loading, it would look really cool. But it does not work out in real life, in my opinion. Their online in general has not been great. They really needed to show more of that, and they have not shown how they're improving their online.
I know many people don't own it, but the Vita is perfect. So
it is better.
All they have to use is what the Vita uses, and you're fine.
It's better.
Cross-game chat works amazingly. Everything about the Vita is better. Even the Vita store is significantly better than the PS4.
I would say that
the units sold on the Vita, they could have reiterated it for the PlayStation 4.
The one thing that's about the Vita, the thing I love about the Vita is that the interface in the main screen is not great, in my opinion.
The bubbles?
The bubbles I do not like.
Tony, how do you feel about the bubbles?
Huge waste of space on the screen.
They don't bother me after the folder implementation.
But you can only fit like 5 things in every folder or something like that.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is it 10?
10 games per
1, 2, 3,
folder.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it 11 on the screen and 10 games per folder?
10 games per folder.
I don't know. I can't remember.
And you could fit literally 100 folders with 10 games each in them. 10 games apps.
That's just, I don't know. I think that there's too much paging, and it's a little slow to create the folders. I don't know.
I have mine organized really well where it doesn't bother me.
I have mine organized too, but
like my first folder is like stuff like settings and the store and,
right. Yeah, that's
chat.
what I've done too.
The second one and the third one are my primary games that I care about. So they're right there. It's the big name titles. Then I have the more obscure stuff toward the bottom, like weird indie stuff and minis and shit. And that you have to leaf through.
See, I was trying to do it by platform. So like Vita and then PSP and then store games. And what I would really like to do is add scrolling to the folders. So I don't need 20 folders of Vita games when it comes down to me. I mean, you can't fit that many Vita games on there anyway because the memory cards are too small. But anyway, we're getting off topic. You won't be able to play Titanfall or Halo or presumably Gears on the PS3. Those are big, or the PS4.
Yeah,
those are big selling points.
The Gears of War Redux was bullshit.
Was it? I mean, I'm saying presumably.
100% bullshit. They said that
or
was
Crackdown,
Photoshop,
which is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, that's Microsoft, though.
Yeah, but so those are games that you won't be able to play. That is a reason to get an Xbox and a reason not to get a PS4 if you're only getting one console. If you're getting both consoles, this conversation is meaningless.
Yeah.
So if you only get
completely in every relevant way.
Yeah.
I'm getting both, but it's for the fans.
Right, it's for the fans.
Some people out there don't have $1,000 to drop on these 2 consoles come launch day. They got to pick and choose.
I am tempted to cancel my Shield and put the Shield towards something, but that's a whole other discussion.
What do you got for negative, sir?
I got halfway through this thought, and I don't remember what I was trying to get at. But I have two other major points.
Just read it, though. Read it.
PlayStation unified, and then I stopped writing because we got off topic, and I don't remember what I was trying to get at.
Was it because your PlayStation Store account is tied to the Vita, and they're all unified into one
because it was a
ecosystem?
It was a con.
Oh, it was a con.
Okay.
You're right.
The PlayStation Store is a fucking joke. It's probably the single biggest gripe I have with Sony. Even finding stuff or just browsing was much better before this update.
And it wasn't great before. It was still slow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the biggest problem I could see with the PS4 is they could be alienating themselves after the initial launch numbers. I know Sony's winning in a landslide when you take pre-orders into account. It's like something like 4-1 right now. But that's the core.
And that unlimited pre-order is still going on.
Once the core has all satisfied their purchases, they've all acquired their PS4, I'm curious if there's going to be a significant drop-off, and this is where Xbox can take advantage, because the PlayStation is so directed toward the core. That's why I love it, and that's why so many video game fans are falling in love with it. But it doesn't do enough extra shit.
They aren't doing anything to bring in casuals.
That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. The casual market won't be there, so they may be limited to their 70 or 80 million units that the PS3 sold, as opposed to being able to reach those ridiculous numbers that the PS2 or the Wii have sold, where they reached out. Because like PS2 at the time sold so well because it was like $20 more than a DVD player. Yes. So people were looking for a DVD player, like, I could spend $20 more and have this, at the time, really great gaming machine that still functions as a DVD player.
Yeah.
The PS4 will not have that. So I'm just curious if the Xbox One is going to get legs later in life because of all these added features, whereas the PS4 may start off really strong, like 20 million units in the fall, like this holiday season, and then start churning out.
I don't think they'll go that high. I don't think they'll produce that many.
Just throwing out obscure numbers here, and then come January and August, or January, February, and March, after Black Friday, after the core have all picked theirs up, are they going to hit a significant drop off and start hitting like Wii U numbers,
right? Where
they're starting to sell $20,000 a month because all of us ran out and grabbed ours already. Where's the draw to bring other people into your fold?
I think I've got another one here is that almost in some regards a lack of that AAA killer title coming out at launch. To the extent of, same way when people bitch that there's no Mario or Zelda at launch of a Nintendo product, there's no God of War, there's no Uncharted, there's no Jak and Daxter, there's no Ratchet and Clank. And I understand those are things to look forward to, but I still think maybe they should have had one ready to go at launch, as opposed to Infamous or, any of these other titles.
God of War 4 or Uncharted 4 or Gran Turismo 6 coming exclusive to the PS4 would have worked wonders. I agree. You needed that one. Because they have that stuff.
That hook.
They have that stuff in their staple, but
you needed that main event.
To me, it's exciting, but that might be personal. That I'm like, wow, like this thing looks amazing without that stuff. Yeah. I can't wait for that stuff, but I could see how it's a drawback at the same time.
The other one, and I know they've been busting their ass to try to do it, but they still haven't been able to lock in that third-party DLC support right off the bat. I mean, yeah, they've got some cool shit. Like for instance,
they're losing ground. They lost the PS4 or Battlefield 4.
And in Arkham Origins, you get 2 exclusive skins for Batman on PS3 that you don't get on Xbox. But I mean, look at Call of Duty, Battlefield. There was one other one.
No, isn't anything Activision goes on Xbox first? Isn't that
the only ones PlayStation have is Assassin's Creed. They're really tightly knit with Ubisoft. And they have...
And is it Destiny it gets exclusive content?
Yeah.
I think it was? Okay.
Which is surprising because of their close ties with Microsoft.
But I mean, losing your 2 ginormous shooters is huge.
They also lost Insomniac. They didn't lose them because Insomniac's still making PlayStation games.
But they don't have them in such a
tighten it.
Yeah, they're not locked down anymore.
Yeah, so whatever. But they're opening up other studios, so we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, those would have to be my two real arguments: is the lack of the killer, the killer title, and the lack of the big name exclusivity.
If playing with friends is important, the Xbox One is still the way to go, probably. I mean, we'll see. Maybe Sony will pull something out of their hats at the last minute, but they haven't shown anything that proves that online will be any better on the PS4.
I think it's caught up quite a bit to Xbox Live. I don't think it's that far behind. Like it used to be miles behind Xbox Live. It's an awful lot closer, and I think the fact that they're charging for PlayStation Plus now, which we all forgot is a con.
That's true.
And we could talk about that in a second, but I think that the money that they're going to start bringing in from PlayStation Plus is only going to benefit the PlayStation Plus users. They might fight it kicking and screaming at the beginning, but that's money that Sony can now invest into their infrastructure. It was back then that was the argument. It's like, yeah, you have to pay for Xbox, but you get what you pay for. It's a lot better. Sony's was always free, so people dealt with a couple little qualms here and there. But Sony has made great strides, and now that they're charging, I'm curious. Since they closed the gap so much, I'm curious what they can do now that they're actually bringing in money. Now that they can reinvest into their infrastructure, and we'll see.
Yeah, I guess personally,
it's probably going to take a year or two, regardless.
I mean, I now have Plus and everything, and that's fine and dandy. But maybe going into a little bit more detail, other than just saying that you have to have Plus to play multiplayer. Maybe throwing in another advantage to it, or explaining it in greater detail to the masses.
Well, the idea is that because you're paying, you can expect more from the service, but they haven't said, like, look, we've added 10,000 servers.
And I think if they did...
Microsoft said we added 100,000 servers for Xbox One. Sony said nothing of the sort.
Yeah. All right, we ready to move along? To anybody got anything else, pro or con, for PlayStation?
No, we're going to probably sum it all up at the end anyway.
Okay. So we're on to Microsoft.
Yeah, what are we doing first? Talk me into?
That's what we did last time, yeah. So, talk me into, talk me out of, that's how we did it last time. All right.
So, want to kick us off?
Okay, so yeah, okay. So, Xbox One will play more to casuals, and will probably bring in a much larger market, which could mean that games will be made for it first. When you have the bigger market and you are bringing in more people, they're the bigger name right now, you do tend to get more support.
That mass appeal.
Yeah, you get that mass appeal. So... right now they're on the top of the wave. It is possible that they're going to go down, but it's just possible they'll stick with it.
And exactly like what Tony iterated to, it's very possible that they could go right back up after that. That initial burst for Microsoft.
They're going to get killed.
Sony.
They're going to get killed in the first 3 months.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft.
There's going to be a huge discrepancy in the first 3 or 4 months.
But Microsoft still has the loyalty of the quote unquote bro gamer market. It's got the name appeal of Microsoft, which some people tend to trust more than Sony. Especially in the U.S. Japan, not so much. Kinect is primed to add new ways to play.
We're talking about pros right now.
We're talking about pros. Yeah. I agree. I agree that so far they haven't shown anything worthwhile. But some of the features that they've added to the Kinect, the heart sensor, all that sort of stuff. One of the when they talk about Left 4 Dead and how it had that director functionality where it
was able to determine what you were doing by playing. Gears did it. Gears 3 did it a little bit.
They could use your heart rate and your general sense of frustration that it could pick up from
to directly affect the game.
Yeah, to make it easier or harder depending on how you like it. So they could add that. It does add better voice command, and by including it, they are saying this is going to be there. Go ahead and code with it and try whatever you want with it. So even though I personally am not a fan of the Kinect, having it out there, could bring something to the console. And
I also got to say, because I know that the Kinect's going to come up as a con also.
As well, yes.
But
yes.
I don't feel that they're by including it with the system. They're building it into the core functionality, but that also takes away a little bit of the gimmickiness to it. A little bit.
It does.
In my opinion,
it's gimmicky, but it's like the Wii remote. When people first saw the Wii remote, they're like, this is a gimmick.
Yeah.
And
where's our standard controller?
People did not do a great job of implementing it, except in a few situations. But you could see that there was some sort of functionality to it after you got, especially when they added the Remote Plus.
I think knowing that Kinect 2 will have a vast higher install base, that you might see some better production come out of it.
Yes, people will put more effort into it.
Mass Effect did and Skyrim and things like that.
Yes.
You know, I don't necessarily think they're going to cram it down your throat like they tried to do so much.
That's pretty much the phrasing I use for the con.
And that's fine. But I see it.
Hike.
No.
Well, no. In Mass Effect 3, you could be like Liara. What was her move? Warp, and she would use that warp on it.
And it was literally like there was no.
What was Skyrim?
Fusroda.
Fusroda.
Oh, well, any of because you get the shouts.
What did I fucking say? Fugados.
So
I was way off.
Well, yeah, the way I was way off.
I was way off.
You know the sequel's coming out, right?
I can't wait, dude.
Oh yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Samsonite.
I knew it started with an S though.
Yeah. There's gonna be tons of garbage for
there
it.
Will be.
There's
there
no
will
doubt.
Be.
But there's also some potential for some interesting innovation.
Yes.
Now that it's no longer...
Now that they can depend on it being there.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's no longer, a bullshit I mean, it's a bullshit attachment, but it's a bullshit attachment that comes with the system.
Yes.
So you'll see stronger support from
More than likely.
credible developers for it.
Yes. So far, Microsoft is offering the best online experience. They have said they're adding 100,000 servers, which is a lot. Mm-hmm. That is a big investment. So they are investing.
Entire fucking warehouse in Ohio.
Yes.
It's nothing but servers.
Nothing but servers. So they are committed to improving their online.
Which is going to also help a lot of that whole middle America market.
Yes, because what did they say it was? Didn't they say it was Ohio, Idaho, something like that?
Idaho or some shit. Yeah, but it's like a 100,000 square foot warehouse that's nothing but servers.
Well, companies are doing that. So they're not the
They're
first,
doing that with Kmart's and stuff, like old big box retailers.
They're buying them up. Yeah, I mean, Apple has a couple of those. Google has them all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
So they are definitely putting the money into online.
Mm-hmm.
And Xbox has greater integration with media services right now. Obviously they both have Netflix. They both have the biggies. But Microsoft is really courting all the media companies in a way that Sony is not.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're stroking their
that.
cocks.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are you still got more?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead. No, the rest is talk me out.
I really, really like the cloud gaming, the kind of living world aspect of it, where the environments can change and reflect depending on what other people are doing. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily. I mean, it's almost MMO-esque, but I prefer to look to it as an aspect of real time. If you're playing a Madden game and you're playing Soldier Field here in Chicago, and all of a sudden it starts snowing, it starts snowing in your game. I know some games do that to an extent, but we're talking about real time on the second updates, or real time reflections of player stats is another huge one. No more roster update packs. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen seamlessly now. I think that's a huge jump for games.
Oh. That made me think of something, but
go ahead.
I was going to say, even though I think that it's a con in terms of reducing availability of resources, the fact that they have thrown Windows in there is going to make it a lot easier to integrate services like that into the Xbox One.
Yeah, because it's a known
standard platform. Yeah, it's a known platform.
Every time we mention something, he just
Totally
scribbles.
something down. Yeah.
He just scribbles a note.
Yeah.
At least Microsoft came out and acknowledged some of their killer titles by, even though they said 2015 Halo. That's all they needed to do.
Is it really? They said 2015?
2015 Halo. They didn't put a number on it. They didn't do anything. They showed that, 45-second little trailer of him walking in the desert.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I didn't see it, but yeah.
And just Halo. That's all it said. And they said 2015. And I mean, that an acknowledgement of the existence.
That's a long way off.
It is.
Because they've probably been developing it for more than a year already.
And you figure, and it's not coming out until the fall of next year, so we're still, 15 months away? But still, it's the
2015, right?
Yeah.
So that's more than a year off still.
Yeah. Sorry, my math was wrong. Either way, just an acknowledgement of the existence of it. Like, everybody knows that the next Legend of Zelda is in development. Everybody knows they're working on a God of War. But even just showing...
Well, do we?
Yes.
God of War, we don't know.
Yes. Come on now. Come on now.
Sony cut a lot of their stuff from PS2 to PS3. And from PS1 to PS2. There's been no jack.
How many times have they rebundled God of War and repackaged and sold that?
But they did that with the PS2 with Jack and Daxter as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sony Santa Monica is making a God of War.
Yeah, there's no
It's different.
doubt.
Jack and Daxter, Naughty Dog leaves franchises. That's why Uncharted may be done.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
I hope not, because I'm enjoying Nate Drake as a character.
Me too. You're telling me. But if you look back at Naughty Dog, they on the PS1 they created
Did they do Crash?
Was it Crash? They were Crash, weren't they?
Yeah, Naughty Dog did Crash.
Yeah. Which they sold.
Then I was thinking Spyro. Spyro's Insomniac.
Spyro's Insomniac.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they let that die. Then they made their trilogy there. Then on PS2 they had the Jack and Daxter saga, and then they let that die. And now on PS3 they had Uncharted, and now we'll see what they do with PS4 because they're a smaller team.
Tony's gonna cry.
No, I know. Here's the thing. I know you don't know, but the way Uncharted 3 ends, I'd love to see more, but I'm content. If they stopped where Uncharted 3 ended, I'm okay.
That's the thing. If they do the story right, it's okay for it to end.
I don't want it to turn into Mario.
And I get that. And that's the same.
Where it's Nathan Drake basketball.
It's like, okay, if this
Gears, there's so much more to explore, though. That was off of one character. Uncharted is Nathan Drake. Gears of War is about the war, the pendulum wars.
But what about young Indiana Jones? I mean, young Nate Drake and all of his adventures with the Nazis.
Was Nate Drake in the PlayStation All-Stars game?
Yes.
Is he? Okay.
I thought you were about to say something about Uncharted 3.
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
I haven't played it.
Anyways, like I was saying, just the general acknowledgement of your AAA titles is huge for them.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. First point: the infinite possibilities in the cloud are
high
amazing.
Five, loving the cloud.
I know. Brian knows
infinite, but there's a lot. There are possibilities. There are.
I know Brian knows a lot more about this than me, but from my understanding, not just the added processing power, but the stuff like Jason was alluding to with the real time updates and to me, I don't play much sports games. I tend to pick one up every third or fourth year because that's when a drastic change will happen.
I'm looking at it from a perspective that 2K now has the WWE franchise, and they're really good with their stats and roster updates. And I could just imagine the possibilities because obviously
doesn't like SmackDown and Raw trade players here and there.
Well, now getting too far into it, they're now basically back to there's no brands anymore. But when you have tag team forming and factions and this guy turning heel on this guy and this guy's now a good guy and then this guy's the champion and then all of a sudden this guy's injured, to see that being reflected in real time.
See, that's got to be harder on wrestling than on sports, because sports or whatever.
Sports,
there's no personality.
There's 30 some odd teams.
Well, there's teams.
You have to.
And there's a lot of complication in terms of moving that, knowing who's done what. But in terms of like in wrestling, you expect like characters and interactions that don't happen in sports.
Yeah, but think about if you're playing the NFL season in Madden, and somebody gets hurt. You have to compensate where some guy's out for the season with a broken leg, and who steps up to take his place.
Right.
And it does change the dynamic of everything.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying that there's not any work involved.
That's the kind of stuff that I meant with infinite. I didn't mean that they could apply infinite processing power to make a game look better.
No, because you schooled them on that last week.
They'll be able to do so. Well, I don't understand that stuff.
No. Look,
I'm saying when you take a little bit of everything, there really is infinite possibilities. There's a ton of shit they could do with this cloud.
I'm gonna throw out a prime example since I use WWE. One of the big things is every fucking year that the wrestling games come out, Kane changes his outfit. Right before, or somebody gets a new fucking outfit, or new music, or a new video.
So you're playing the whole year with last year's
exactly. But now, like that, just a simple reskin or a color change.
If they implement it properly, then they can do something with that. Absolutely.
They can even do stuff like in October. The NFL is a big supporter of breast cancer awareness, and a lot of the guys' uniforms start turning pink for that month.
John Cena's did this past year in wrestling.
So that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. It's just really cool what they can do.
The fact that they're getting those services in place is a big deal.
Here's the biggest one for me. Speaking, because that's WWE is my Madden every year. Whenever you buy a WWE game, you're playing the arenas are the different sets for the 12 pay-per-views. They're last year's. They're not current. You'll get up to like the current WrestleMania. So like when I buy WWE 14, it'll be this WrestleMania from this year, as opposed to the one that's coming up, because obviously that set hasn't been designed. But being able to update that or just the logos and stuff in real time, awesome.
Even with like NHL, the NHL is like a revolving door. You're starting like 3, 6, 9, 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 2.
Count on your toes.
You're basically starting 20 guys roughly a game. And it's like a revolving door on your 6th and 7th defensemen, because you're only allowed to carry... You can carry 7, but you sacrifice a forward. And forwards, you have 12. And the bottom line, the fourth line, constructed of 3 people, is a revolving door with the 2 or 3 best players from your AHL affiliate team versus your worst players on your star team, your upper league team. And they keep alternating those people to try to find good combinations for lines. So a lot of those guys that are on the starting team may only play 30 or 40 games a year because they feel like the AHL affiliate will match up better with that particular team. It's just tons of stuff. I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I get excited about it.
You know, or for instance, if I can jump in, you're playing a Halo game or something like that, and it's kind of like what they're trying to do with Dust 541, where it's going to reflect what's going on in.
What's 514 by the way?
Whatever. I don't give a shit. That game sucked. I played it. The MMO version is what is it? The actual computer space fucking battle, Anarchy Online or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that directly affects what happens in Dust. But being able to see that in real time transitions through the games would be awesome.
Well, they're doing that in another game right now too, that Defiance game based on the sci-fi TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody cares about that. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
It's cool. This is a plus on both platforms, but I forgot to mention it. It doesn't, but Xbox has been more adamant about announcing it. It doesn't sound like live games or accessories are changing in price that much. It sounds like live is staying the same price. It sounds like games are staying the same price. And it sounds like accessories have gone up, if anything, only about $5.
They said the headsets are still going to be $20.
And like the Xbox controller is only $5. So I know a lot of people worried, myself included. I don't want games to jump up to $70, $80, $90 and stuff. Controller. You're just kind of used to what you're paying right now for stuff. And it's good that people worried about Xbox Live. They're like, oh, they're signing up all this new crap. Do I got to pay $20 more a year for you to have a Time Warner license when I use Comcast?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't sound like anything's changing. And to me, that's a plus. It sounds like they're, at least for the most part, you might get a $5 thingy here and there, but for the most part, it sounds like they're keeping it very in line with current generation.
And I mean, at least they've put some of that info out there.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Another point, fucking games, man. They look awesome. Xbox's games look fucking sick, dude. I'm so happy with like 4 or 5 of these titles that are approaching.
I'm buying Forza.
Forza looks sick.
I'm buying Forza.
Fucking Rise looks disgusting, dude.
Oh, God.
Disgusting. Dude, I cannot wait for that shit.
That game
I don't know, people have been down talking it.
Fucking I don't care. That shit's
people
for me.
Down talk it all they want.
People bash everything. Rise looks
once
sick.
We're done.
I'm going to pull up the trailer for you. No, because you got to experience it with sound and all that.
Yeah,
Rise looks sick.
We can pause and let him watch that. Because I think
it's already 6
o'clock.
It's getting...
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Another thing, the exclusives. They listened. Xbox fucking listened. They heard you guys. Not only with... they had some bad ideas, but what happened? You guys got big enough huff and puff. They took away the used game shit. They took away the DRM stuff. They took... And the biggest complaint with Microsoft was that they had their 4 pillars, and that was it. Their Fable, Forza, Halo, Gears, and that was it. And what did they do? They came in through a ton of exclusive at you guys. You know what I mean? And people are still bitching. The Xbox looks great.
Yeah. There's
so much cool shit coming out. I can't wait for either of these systems. But the Xbox...
This next part, the talk you out of it, is going to be really hard for me. For both systems. I was grasping at straws for Sony.
Yeah, the Sony one was rough for me.
It was. Sony was really hard for me, too. Yeah, I was just like, there's nothing wrong with this fucking thing.
And now, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with the fucking Xbox.
Surprisingly, as I only have a couple things wrong with the Xbox. That's it. Are we done? Talk me into Xbox?
The other quick thing. If having the system as an all-in-one appeals to you, that's a positive. For me, I like that seamless transition that they're going to have between TV and gaming.
The only thing I would say to that is if they would have worked a little bit harder, it could have become a TiVo replacement, and that would have been really nice.
Sure. there's that. But being
there's
able
always room for development. Look at when the 360 launched; they had nothing.
Yeah,
hold on.
And look at what the 360 does now.
Not there. The hardware's not there. For that.
But
For
being
TV?
able to plug my Xbox One into my cable box, my cable box then becomes my dedicated recorder.
Yeah.
I don't have to, because let me tell you, DirecTV's fucking interface is garbage.
Oh look, I have a TiVo, which is supposed to be
Yeah.
quote unquote the best.
Oh.
It's not that great. It makes me want to build my own.
Another aspect that's a positive for me is transitioning Xbox Live Messenger over to Skype. To being able, the reason is I can talk to you via Skype on my phone when I'm not at home on my console and be like, sure, I can send you a text just as easily, but if I'm at work or I'm on a road trip or something and I just want somebody to bullshit with, I'm not taking away from you having to pause your game to talk to me.
Is it really making you do that though?
Yeah, it's becoming Skype. So like you're playing a game, you'll get a Skype.
No, but don't you have to like answer?
Yeah, you can decline it,
But
obviously.
but have you seen what they do?
Well, no
with-
offense, dude, but if I'm in the middle of a ridiculously intense multiplayer match,
Sure,
and
but
I
I'm
see
just-
Jason calling in the court, like, dude, I'll call you back. Bro.
And that, I
But
get
they've
that,
shown,
but I'm
they've
just saying
shown,
in general.
A, the chat will be Skype, so everything's integrated. But B, they've shown where they basically scale down the picture of the game and put the video chat up there right next to it, so you can do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
So if you're playing something like
Shut up, Miller!
So if you're just grinding in a game, you can have that chat and not have it affect the game.
Like for me, if I'm just chilling playing fucking Minecraft or something,
Yeah.
and you're bored and just want but you're not at home on the Xbox, so you're driving back from fucking work or something, you can pull out your phone and Skype me, and I don't have to like take off my headset, pick up my phone, hold it in my ear, to fucking talk to you. That's for me is a positive.
That is a positive, absolutely.
All right, moving on to talk you out. I wish that dog would shut the fuck up. By the way, that's not my dog, that's my neighbor's, and he's really fucking annoying. I want to go shoot him with a fucking squirt gun.
I have
Go
1,
ahead.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now.
I have 4.
You guys made me think of a new shit. I only had 3, and I just added 3.
You want to start or?
Okay. Start with the basic one. I did this for the positives, even though I should have included this on PlayStation. I'm doing this for the negatives, even though it should have also been included on PlayStation. I'll make that clear. These hard drives are too small.
Yes.
They are too
I am in
fucking.
complete
500
agreement.
gigs is pathetic.
And at least on the PlayStation, you can upgrade it. On the Xbox, you have to buy an external.
A terabyte? Oh, okay, so that was another positive for
For PlayStation, yeah.
But 500 gigs is ridiculous. Like, a terabyte should have been the bottom SKU on both of these consoles.
Maybe a 750, but yeah. Because the 750 is going to be under $50. For them, probably 30 or $40. You can buy a terabyte for around $80 as a consumer. For Microsoft, probably $40, $50. So it could add quite a bit. But yeah, 500 is too small. I agree. You're right there.
Yeah. Okay. To me, I know Jason disagrees with this because it was one of his positives. To me, I think there was too much focus on extras. I would have loved to seen. To me, there's a lot of unnecessary. Like, I do love the Netflix, I do love the Xfinity apps, the HBO Goes, so on and so forth. But there's just like so much that's just like, why did you waste development time on this? Like,
Well,
fantasy integration.
that's starting to be less developed by Microsoft and more developed by external companies. Now HBO Go is doing their own developing now. Netflix is doing their own developing now. I mean, but Microsoft is still.
It's
so some of these companies, Microsoft.
It's
will
a
be
lot of
doing
focus on extras.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
is one of my things.
To really quick, to piggyback off that, the partnership with the NFL is a complete negative for me. In the aspect of gamers, your general gamer who is going to buy your system at launch, I'm going to say at least fucking like 70-80% of them don't fucking care about that. They don't care about that.
Negative.
You're a huge football fan.
Another negative. Wait. Can I go into a thing?
Wait, you're a huge football
I
fan,
am.
yes?
And I play fantasy.
And you give zero shit about this.
Because they didn't lock up Yahoo. Their dumbasses went with NFL.com, and as big as and as big and powerful as the NFL is, their own fantasy site is not the biggest fantasy site. It's Yahoo. And with Sony and Microsoft, where's the YouTube deal?
Neither of them.
This is a negative for both.
Twitch is by far bigger than Ustream.
Twitch is better, but Ustream, where's YouTube?
No, Ustream is used by some big names.
But for gaming,
not for gaming.
You go YouTube or Twitch.
You're right.
To me, it's a negative on both.
I mean, Ustream is good because Twitch is Xbox, right? And Ustream is Sony.
Mm-hmm. So far.
Yeah, Twitch is definitely the go-to for gaming, but Ustream is not nothing.
Okay, to me, here's my next.
Like YouTube should be what they both have. Yeah.
Here's my next. This is a negative that can turn into a positive. I just don't know enough about it, and I'm very skeptical about it. And that's Skype. I know it was a positive for you. To me, it's weird. Do I have to like set up a Skype account now and then link it to my Xbox Live account, where it's another way for them to track me?
Nope.
And then is it going to become really interfering?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is it going to become really interfering when I'm trying to play a game and people are calling me on fucking Skype when I just don't even want to? It's annoying enough when I get the Xbox chat invites and I don't want to talk to anybody. And it's like, is there a way to hide this? Mm-hmm. Is there a way to pretend I'm offline? There's too many I don't knows with this,
and for me I can fill you in just a little bit. My same exact login for my Xbox Live is the same thing as my Skype. As long as you have a general Microsoft Live account, what?
They just changed things so that you cannot tie certain accounts together.
Okay.
I had an Xbox account tied to my Outlook account, and they killed that.
Really? Because mine's all still tied together.
I can't remember what they made some sort of change.
Mine's locked to Gmail, which is a rarity. People say they don't even let. Mine's with my Gmail.
Mine is so bad. My Xbox account is tied to my old Earthlink account that I don't even have anymore.
Yeah, but like my Skype is the same as my Outlook is the same as my Xbox, and that hasn't
I may
changed.
have to change that in the future for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how yet.
But you can set. This is just from Skype itself. You can set the system to show that you're offline. You can
if they implement that in Xbox.
You can mute the mess. You can mute incoming on that. So I would imagine that they wouldn't change it.
I'm just not sure. Yeah, it's a concern of mine.
I mean, I don't know for 100%.
I prefer the way it is now, but it would also be nice. Is Skype gonna? It could be a positive. Is it going to open up the possibility to go more than 6 people in the chat?
They said
whatever Xbox caps at.
12 or 18 now,
I don't know what the Skype cap is. Yeah, I don't know.
Skype cap is 25 currently.
You'll never need more than that.
Yeah.
So
is you. No, I'm just kidding.
The next one. I fear Microsoft blew their load. They came out. They were very proud of their exclusives that were coming out. In much the same way that Sony, I think this is a positive because they showed a ton of great-looking exclusives and haven't even tapped in to their arsenal yet. Mm-hmm. I fear Microsoft exposed their hand and don't have, sure they have tons of time because the system's still 4 months off. They got enough games for the first year. Mm-hmm. They have enough time to develop games for the second year. Son of a bitch.
Sorry. Late breaking news.
Regarding?
Hockey.
Oh. Do you need a moment?
Fuck. That is so stupid. Dumbass.
Tell everybody. I mean, why not?
Share it here. The Hawks traded Boland.
To the Maple Leafs for...
What did they even get?
Draft picks?
At least that emptied up $3.5 million in cap space.
But just think how quick of an integration that would be using the cloud on Xbox One.
Yeah. But I just... Besides Gears, Microsoft doesn't have much else up their sleeve. I hope there's more to be shown. It's just a concern that they showcased everything and now it's going to be a mad scramble to fill in year 2, whereas PlayStation sounds like they have year 1 pretty well sorted out.
And year 2 as well.
Year 2 is going to be insane as well. And then by year 3, all the year 1 guys will have their second games out. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like Sony's a little bit more future-proofed, which could be
a little bit more forward compatible.
Okay.
What else you got?
It's like your go-team venture.
Of course. The next 3 points all have to do with Kinect. So I'll brief. Are you guys referencing Kinect as a negative?
I am. But if you have the same one, it's my first one.
I'll let you guys go because I have something else. I don't think... I'll probably just tag up on what you guys say.
The number 1 for Kinect is the Kinect. It's pretty self-explanatory. I hate
Drop
it.
the mic.
I don't fucking want this shit at all. I hate motion gaming. I don't need it. I don't want it. The voice commands can be cool, but that can easily be picked up by a microphone, either built into the headset, built into the controller, kind of like the Wii U, or the Wii, excuse me, which was just a speaker, but you reverse
I think the Wii U has
like a little.
The Wii U has a microphone in the tablet.
Fine.
There's a camera in there too. You can video chat with it.
And or could it just been built into the system? You're only going to be 10 or 12 feet away from your system. It can easily been picked up to pick up voice commands like scroll left, scroll right, buy, on, off. Mm-hmm. You didn't need this extensive camera, $100 fucking device tacked on to do voice commands, which is what this thing is going to eventually be migrated to. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's the $100 price point, which is more, which I know we'll touch on in a second. And my final point is indirect. This one's one that you made me think of, that you think a lot of developers are going to start adding shit, and because it's readily available. I disagree. I think this is going to be a 6-month thing that's going to stop down the line. Examples of which, 6-axis, the PlayStation Eye, the Vita Gyro, which doesn't get utilized at all. Just because it's included in the hardware doesn't, like, people may try it for 6 months. They may develop
Sony.
They may.
I'm joking.
Zune from Microsoft. Just because it's there doesn't mean people are going to want it, or you. The manufacturers at first, the publishers and developers will try to incorporate Kinect, but when they realize it still sucks, which, mark my words, it will, they're going to stop, and this thing's going to be a fucking dust collector.
It's going to be awesome if by some fucking bizarre world a year from now, Tony absolutely loves the Kinect.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
not above admitting when I'm wrong. If it is glorious in all ways, shape, and form, I have no problem.
It works in the dark.
Coming on the show and admitting I was wrong, but I'm telling you, this thing's gonna be a pile of shit.
Here's the thing about the Kinect.
It's gonna be a glorified speaker.
Yeah, right now it's a glorified microphone. All it takes is one person to figure out the killer app for it, but that may never happen.
This is true.
That's not guaranteed. That is a hope. And as much as I do, it's called fishing and poker. As much as I enjoy fishing, at the end of the day, you're just fishing. You may not pull up anything. So there's that's definitely something to be to keep in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Either one of you guys, go ahead.
Do you want to go, or do you want me to?
I'm done with my Microsoft rant.
Okay. So mine is.
I'm probably going to chime in when you folks bring up Kinect.
Well, let's start with that. Kinect will be crammed down your throat whether you want it or not.
Yep.
That is, they have said it. They're pushing it. They want it.
They want it on everything.
I think it could be useful in some games, but I don't think that they should be pushing it through what they're doing. I don't like voice recognition while watching TV and movies. There's a great little 30 Rock clip where one of the characters invents a TV that takes voice commands, and they're watching TV, and it keeps taking commands from the TV.
Yeah.
This happened during the Xbox conference, the Xbox One conference.
Their mistake with all the backlash from Kinect is thinking it just wasn't in enough people's hands.
Yeah.
Not realizing and taking some self-responsibility and realizing that they released a pile of shit.
It's not even that it's a pile of shit. It's that they haven't found a use for it. If they had a really good use for it, you might change your mind.
Why?
Well, that's what I agree. They should have kept it in the labs and kept working on it until they found a better use for it. It's not there yet. Maybe it will get there during the Xbox One's life cycle, but it's not there yet, and they should not have been pushing it the way they're pushing it.
I agree, actually.
They could, and stone me for saying this. They could reverse their stance on used trades. The code is there already. They probably won't, but they're ready to do it. All it would take is a little bit more than a button push to reintegrate it.
That would cause an uproar.
Once
they sold you the product, but then doing something.
They could be like,
I don't think they can do that.
They could sell our new subsidized Xbox that doesn't allow trades. Your contract with us for this new Xbox is not. They could do something like that. The code is there. They're ready and they're waiting to implement it. They probably won't. They probably won't do it this generation, but they're ready for it, and you don't know where they're going to slip that back in.
I think that would cause massive outcry, massive lawsuits, even though they'd be frivolous and they'd probably win a majority of them. Mm-hmm. Just the public. You saw what the public is capable of.
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft would dare double dip.
I think in the back of their heads,
in one generation, I don't think it's going to happen.
It
very well could. We don't know what the hell Microsoft's thinking.
They want to do. They're chomping at the bit to implement it.
And on the flip, though, I mean, I don't think it's just them.
No, it's not just them. It's not just them.
They've
but
just
they've
been the forefront. They've been the vocal.
Yes.
I don't even think it's them. I think it's the third parties that are pushing this crap on everybody. Microsoft from day one, even when they were adamant about including this, they said, don't worry, this doesn't apply to Microsoft Studio games.
Right.
This is an option for developers
Yes.
who are the most vocal with the online pass bullshit and all that stuff.
But they said about
game sales.
They said about use sales. But every time you purchase a game, it's still checking in with their DRM and everything like that. So there's still some level of control even with the Microsoft stuff, but less, possibly. Another con, poorer developer relations. They seem to be working on this a little bit, but Microsoft does have poorer developer relations than Sony.
Nobody's as bad as Nintendo.
But Nintendo's made changes too. Nintendo originally...
Clearly, everybody's dropped out of supporting them except Ubisoft.
But no, for indie developers, they've made a lot of changes.
Activision is said that they're
don't even know if they're bringing God.
Because there was some game that was supposed to come to... It was Retro City Rampage. He had originally designed it for the Wii. And he could not launch it on the Wii because he didn't have an office. Nintendo would not take him because he did not have an office.
Yeah.
So they've been backpedaling as well. But Microsoft charges... I mean, they cut it just recently. But they still have a lot of... Developers have a bad taste in mouth from some of Microsoft's policies the last generation. They charged a per-disc licensing fee. Not a per-game licensing fee. A per-disc licensing fee. I don't know if they've changed that or not. So they have that bad will from developers. And a lot of indie people are just siding with Microsoft or with Sony because of the previous generation's hassles on the 360. And finally, and this is a personal one, I know we're going to see Xbox Live brought to you by Axe Mountain Dew Doritos. I just am waiting for them to take over the Xbox experience with whoever paid them the most money that month.
Wait, what?
I'm waiting for them to take over the Xbox Live experience, quote unquote, by whoever paid them the most money that month.
You know, here's my thing with the advertising, and it sucks, and I agree with you that you know it's a negative. But from my aspect, and again here I go with the wrestling reference. Now you'll get a fucking at ringside between matches. They'll cut to the commentators and they're like, "Subway, eat fresh, motherfuckers!" You know, like during the show. It's just, I mean, that's corporate America.
But not all corporate America like that. Look, how many ads do you get on your iPhone from Apple? Apple.
I don't get any because I didn't sign up to their fucking thing.
iCloud does not give you ads. There are 0 ads. iTunes, except for when you go to the store, it shows like the featured, but that's it. There's no other advertising. Same thing. Well, Sony, you could turn it off. On the PlayStation 3, you could turn it off.
I did have a question, and it's kind of off topic, but since I am kind of rediscovering my PlayStation 3, can I turn that fucking ticker off up in the corner?
I don't know.
It's talking about Grammy Award winning fucking CeeLo Green and shit. I'm just like, I don't fucking care about that up there.
I don't recall.
It pisses me off up there in the corner. That scrolling ticker about
that
CeeLo Green.
That is annoying. I don't know.
I'd rather see a little fucking advertisement that I can page past than have that fucking up there in the corner telling me about CeeLo Green.
I don't think you can because I haven't turned it off, and I think that I would have turned it off if
Tony,
I could.
Do you know?
I'm not listening at all. What?
Can you turn off the ticker on the PS3 in the top right corner?
What ticker?
The little fucking scroll thing that tells you about CeeLo Green being a Grammy Award-winning artist with his new album coming out.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
The little black box that tells you when you're online.
I never read that. I have no idea. It's so minuscule.
It pisses me off to no end. Anyways, my big negative with my... Were you done, Brian? I'm sorry.
Well, no, just that I think it's tacky.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to. It's one thing when a website does it, they're paying the website server bills, I'm not. But I bought the Xbox. I presumably am buying Xbox Gold. If I'm playing online with it, I don't think I should have to. It's like they're doubling down. They're double dipping.
Okay.
And I just think it's uncool.
I get that in that regard. My big negative for Xbox, which was a positive for most people, was when they changed all their online policies and used games. We suffered the loss of some cool features, like the family sharing. Now, yes, theoretically, can that be implemented in the future? Yeah,
Well, and they could have kept family sharing while still keeping the used.
And I get that. But
yeah.
And that's the whole point, though. I mean, when everybody spoke up and threw a fit, well, of course, one way or another, Microsoft is going to win in the end because it is theirs, But it's a negative for them that feature is no longer available. I was really looking forward to that. That was probably in my top 3 of the new Xbox One that I was interested in that is no longer there. Which kind of, I guess for me, closes that gap between Sony and Microsoft even more. Dead air.
Sorry, I was looking up that disabled ticker thing.
I'm reading all the fucking trades in the NHL right now. I'm barely here right
Okay,
now.
well, why don't we get ready to wrap it up, yeah?
Yeah. Final thoughts?
I mean, do I have to do your job for you?
No, go ahead.
He said, no, go ahead. Oh, Brian, why don't you, final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Cooking can be very dangerous. Make sure that you get your parents' permission before messing around in the kitchen.
Yep.
The more you know.
For me, realistically, go with this whole debate of Xbox or PlayStation 3. Go with what you want. You know, the fanboyism doesn't have to be as rampant. If you want to go with Xbox, go with Xbox. If you want to go with PlayStation 3, by all means, go with PlayStation 3. If you're, in that small percentage that can afford both, hell, you win on both ends. But, it really, at this point now, the only major difference is $100. Everything else with the consoles is extremely close. Extremely close, in my opinion. So it's just a matter of what do you want to play on, what exclusives are you interested in, and that's where you go from there. Tony, it's your turn.
They both have some ups and downs, but that's how consoles are going to be forever. Now that Microsoft has cleared up a lot of the backlash, it seems like for all three of us, it was a lot harder for us to come with negatives for both systems. There were far more positives than negatives. People are going to be grasping at straws. There's only a few little things that you can bitch about left. Like, one of the big things that Microsoft fanboys had to deal with was paying for online. Well, now Sony makes you do that too. PlayStation had PlayStation Plus, and we'll see what Xbox's version is. I don't think it's going to catch it for a long time, but whatever. They're both supporting indie developers. They're both doing all the Netflixes and all the. These are coming out to be very, very similar systems, and it's kind of cool because one of my earlier predictions when we started the show is wrong, where I thought exclusives were dying. And it seems like exclusives are taking back over, at least in the initial launch, where they do seem to matter a lot more. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm getting them both, so I don't give a fuck.
I'm going to try.
I got them both pre-ordered, and I'm paying them off little by little every week when I got a little extra dough. I'm throwing it at them so that I don't have to feel the $1,000 all in 1 week.
Plus, and not even including the games.
A few
that
games
you
and
got.
stuff.
How many you got?
I have way too many games reserved.
I'm probably getting 2 each.
Okay. What do you got so far pre-ordered?
Forza and Rise will probably be Xbox, and PlayStation will probably be Killzone and 1886.
Okay. Brian, what you got?
I have way too many pre-orders. I just put them in my calendar so I wouldn't forget about them. Let me pull them up.
Brian's got him in a calendar.
Oh yeah, because I'll forget otherwise. And it has. There we go. I have Castlevania. Well, that's not one. Destiny.
Okay.
Infamous Second Son. Knack. The Order and Watch Dogs.
Okay. I have Rise, Forza, Dead Rising 3, Battlefield, and Watch Dogs. Obviously, all for my Xbox One.
I almost want to play Watch Dogs on the Wii U instead of on the... Just because of the tablet. It would be easier to do the tagging stuff, it looks like.
Your iPad will work far better than that fucking tablet.
Have they said it's going to...
Yeah.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. That was one of the questions from last week. Is that like smart glass and all that shit is going to work for it. Same thing with Battlefield for Commander.
Well, I guess we'll see. Yeah. Well, just because it's right there.
They were standing on the stage. Microsoft.
Oh, that's right. They were
with Surfaces.
Well, but they didn't show that for the for Watch Dogs specifically, did they?
I don't know. I didn't watch Ubisoft's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But either way, they
showed something with Watch Dogs where someone else was playing and joining in, but I don't know if it was through a pad.
It was through a tablet. Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe it won't matter.
All right.
Well, anything else?
I just feel bad for my Wii U. That's all.
Everyone that buys one feels bad. This has been episode 73, part 2. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time.
same place.
Give it out!